Hey guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Endgame. We're here to talk wide receivers today, our top breakout candidates for 2021. We already did this for running back, so now let's get to the receivers. Chris, hit me up with your first wide receiver breakout candidate.
Yeah, I've been talking about Deontay Johnson all offseason, but I also like his teammate, Chase Claypool, a lot, who I think is poised for a second-year breakout. You know, last year, he was losing a lot of snaps. Well, I shouldn't say he was losing a lot of snaps because he was a rookie. He wasn't playing a lot of snaps because he and James Washington were kind of splitting that wide receiver 3 role on the outside, opposite Deontay Johnson with Juju in the slot, of course. Well, it doesn't sound like James Washington is very happy with his role right now as he's requested a trade from the team. So I think Chase Claypool is going to see a huge bump in snaps. And we already have seen a brief glimpse of what this guy is capable of, right? He's a big play, home run guy. They use him around the goal line in different ways, gets carries out of the backfield. This guy can do it all. I think he's poised for a second-year breakout. I still think Deontay Johnson will be the one, will get the bulk of the targets, and is a guy you want. But if you wait a couple rounds, I think Chase Claypool is a great pick, and I expect big things from Chase Claypool in 2021.
Yeah, the great thing with Claypool, he doesn't have to be a target hog. He's such a deep threat, right? Big play guy, big body. He can also be a threat in the red zone. So that's the kind of player that you want to look for. Now, surprisingly, talk about my first breakout player, Jerry Jeudy, not known for the same kind of, thing. He's not one of these bigger guys, right? He's not known just to be a kind of a deep threat, but he had, just like Claypool, one of the higher ADOTs, that's average depth of target. On the season last year, you might remember he caught that really long bomb on Monday Night Football. It's a guy who can get deep, but again, that's because that's the way the offense ran. I think they're going to be a little more conservative and utilize Jeudy's strengths. He is what you call a route technician. He is one of the best at getting separation. He comes in and out of breaks really sharply. This is a guy who knows how to get open, bottom line. And that's exactly what you want from a receiver because it's not all dependent on the quarterback being perfect, which is a good thing because it seems like Drew Lock is still going to be the quarterback there. But look, either way you slice it, Teddy Bridgewater is a little bit more accurate. If Drew Lock is the guy, well, that means that he outperformed Teddy Bridgewater and that he stepped up from last year. So we'll see a better version of Lock. I'm not too worried about the quarterback situation there. I really think that Jeudy, with his talent, is going to be productive. And this is a guy I feel like is going to take that step forward in his second year and be a breakout. All right, Chris, who's your next wide receiver breakout?
Yeah, I'm going to a rookie, and anybody who's been following training camp reports probably knows who it is because he's been blowing up rookie camp, and that's Elijah Moore of the New York Jets. He was one of my favorite wide receivers coming into the draft. I loved his landing spot here in New York. I love what the Jets have done this season. Zach Wilson brought in Corey Davis, re-signed Jamison Crowder, bolstered that offensive line, drafted Michael Carter. I think this is going to be a great offense this year, and I think Elijah Moore is going to be a big part of it. Now, we could see something similar to Justin. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying he's going to have a Justin Jefferson season. He's not. But I'm saying we could see something similar to what we saw with Justin Jefferson last year, where early in the year, Adam Thielen was the guy. I think early in the year, Corey Davis will be the guy there in New York. But I think as the season goes on, Elijah Moore's talent and ability is just going to be too much, and the Jets aren't going to be able to hold him down, kind of like the Vikings couldn't hold down Justin Jefferson. And I think Elijah Moore is going to have the top rookie season of all rookie wide receivers. So, again, he's not going to have a Justin Jefferson season. All right, that's a one-in-a-generation season. We're not going to see that again. Don't expect that. But if Elijah Moore can hit 1,000 yards and, score 7-8 touchdowns, you'll take that all day. I think he definitely can. I think he's going to be the top rookie wide receiver in 2021 and is going to have a massive breakout.
I 100% agree with all of that. I love Elijah Moore. I can't say I love the Jets or not in love with their offense. Just, we have to see what it looks like. But yeah, I absolutely love Moore. I would have liked it better if James Crowder had gone somewhere else rather than staying. But still, like you said, they're not going to be able to keep him down. All right. Also, in a good situation, second-year player Darnell Mooney. there's just not a lot behind Allen Robinson. Mooney is the number 2 receiver there. Anthony Miller, who we thought was going to be a stud in the NFL, is gone. They traded him basically just to get rid of him to the Texans. After that, I mean, we're talking Javon Wims, Riley Ridley, Marquise Goodwin coming back from a year off. I mean, it's going to be Allen Robinson as the clear alpha there. And then Darnell Mooney is the wide receiver 2. He's going to get a ton of targets. I think that we're going to be surprised by how productive he is. You know, he didn't have these monster games last year, but he was really effective, surprisingly effective. This is a guy who was a late draft pick coming out of Tulane. Not a big name, no, not even close to the fantasy radar at all until midway through the season. So I think that this is a player that's, again, being kind of undervalued. You know, some smart drafters in the fantasy end game when we do these mock drafts are catching on, and we're getting him at that kind of mid-tier, wide receiver 3-4 range. This is somebody who definitely want to keep an eye on. I think breakout is definitely in the cards for Mooney. I think there's almost impossible for him not to break out, unless something goes wrong, he doesn't stay healthy. But definitely keep an eye on Mooney this year. All right, Chris, one more breakout wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm picking your guy, Jalen Waddle of the Dolphins. I really like him too. I don't like him quite as much as Elijah Moore, but I think he's going to have a very nice season. I mean, yeah, he's got competition for targets there, but who is his competition? Will Fuller, who's going to miss week 1, and we know he's always in and out of the lineup, has trouble staying healthy. And then Devontae Parker, who I think he's kind of an overrated receiver, to be honest. He's fine, he's good, but I don't think he's anything special. And we know we've got the Jalen Waddle Tua connection, right? They've played together in college back in Bama. They played together. And we've heard good things about Waddle out of camp. I know there was that, little scare with his ankle, whether it could stay healthy, but he's been fine lately. He's been out there. Good reports coming out of camp that him and Tua have a great connection going and that he's looked like the best receiver. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is the best receiver on this Dolphins team. I'm not expecting him to have as big a season as Elijah Moore. I just don't think Waddle honestly has that kind of potential, but I think he's going to be good enough in this offense. And again, another rookie wide receiver who I think is going to break out this year and is going to see his ADP go up entering drafts next season.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny the talent, but man, that ankle just scares me. And I do think this offense might spread the ball around quite a bit. Don't know if anyone's going to really stand head and shoulders above the others. But if I had to pick someone, I mean, you hit it right on the head. It would be Waddle for those reasons. It's hard to trust Devontae Parker anymore, and Will Fuller. Who knows what you're going to get? So I like Waddle, but we'll see. I'm trying to keep my homerism out of this. I'm going to go with a guy who I really was big on last year now for my final breakout, and it didn't happen, but I'm going to stick with Bryan Edwards of the Raiders. This is somebody who early on kind of struggled, didn't get acclimated to the pros right away, and then had some injuries, came back, wasn't the same. Kind of a lost year, but so far what we've heard in training camp this year, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. We have John Gruden comparing him to like Terrell Owens and Randy Moss, some absurd things, take that for what it's worth. But the fact is he's running with the ones. It looks like he's got a starting job locked up ahead of free agent John Brown. This is somebody who talent was never the issue coming out of college. It was just his injury history. But this is somebody who's putting in the work. It looks like he's ready to step up. Derek Carr is a serviceable quarterback. I think he kind of gets dissed unfairly, but he is good at throwing the deep ball. He's pretty accurate. And so I feel like this is an offense that is going to have enough opportunity for him to be a fantasy star. So I'm looking for Bryan Edwards to take a huge step forward, and he's somebody you can grab late in your drafts, kind of an afterthought at this point because his rookie season was lost. But don't sleep on Bryan Edwards. All right, guys, don't sleep on us either. We're here all offseason long to give you the draft strategy, sleepers, busts, and everything you need to know in order to win your league in 2021. All right, thanks for watching.